your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like. It's your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like.
Welcome to the Year of the Fire Rooster, Sagittarius. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. One of my friends told me a Year of the Fire Rooster joke. How come the rooster wanted to get a tattoo? He was hoping to impress some chicks, that's why. The Year of the Fire Rooster lasts from January 28th of 2017 to February 15th of 2018. Now, these dates are the actual Chinese New Year dates, but the specific animal day we'll discuss later on in this video, so stay tuned for that, because there is a distinction between those two aspects. Okay, now the lucky charms for Sagittarius during the year of the Yin Fire Rooster. We have the auspicious gemstone as being turquoise. The colors for lucky colors for Sagittarius this year are going to be blue, white, and salmon. The numbers that are fortunate are 4, 6, and 1. Fire Rooster lucky charms. We have the lucky gemstone of being ruby, also other gemstones, diamond, and topaz. For the colors that you might want to use to bring good fortune to yourself during this Fire Rooster year that are associated with the Fire Rooster are the colors of gold, yellow, peach, and the numbers that you will find particularly auspicious are the number 5, the number 7, and the number 8. Okay, now Sagittarius personality during a rooster year brings out the qualities of being the monarch of all social butterflies. You're going to stand out in a crowd, and the rooster attributes during this cosmological occurrence will make you even more of a superstar than you already are. You're going to find that when people say that that you're their favorite, or they're going to go ahead and feel that you're in charge, and they're going to want to put you in charge, you're going to say jump, and they're all going to say how high. So people are going to be very obedient to you. All this is going to put you very much in charge at work and at home, or even if you're going to be arranging for parties. Even if you're not technically a boss, you're going to end up being the go-to person that everyone's going to have to check in with, because they need your input really during this astrological happening. So be aware of that. Just because you don't have a manager badge on doesn't mean you're not actually the one managing everything, and everybody knows it. People know where they stand with you, and that's the quality that makes you someone that can be very much a leader, because you're not afraid to say really what's on your mind and sort of speak up for yourself. You disdain passive-aggressive approaches to problem solving when the rooster crows at the sun, preferring honesty and formal intellectual sparring along with social gaming, acting as a means to an end, not an end in itself. The Year of the Fire Rooster is said in popular media to begin on January 28th of 2017, and this is what we said we were going to get to about the animal year and the new year, the distinction. Then it's going to end on February 15th of 2018. Now, this is actually the Chinese New Year day, with the first day of the animal year being February 3rd of 2017. That's very important, and you need to make sure you get that if you get nothing else about these dates. Very important. So you can really expect to get up with the chickens to go about your daily routines. That is unless They've been confused by street lights, causing a crowing and a singing and wild clucking at all ungodly hours of the day and night. And it's not just chickens who have their circadian rhythms messed up by the streetlights and the unnatural light of modern society. People do too, and act a little crazy, and all animals are acting a little goofy because of the way all the technology is affecting them, including all the various, all the waves and radioactivity and all the various and sundry very exotic types of, laser beams and all these things that are, I'm certainly not a physicist, but, this is what is going to be more and more forthcoming during this time. So be prepared for that. And be prepared for all creatures to act even more erratic and eccentric, because that is the time that we're in, and it's actually right on time. Now, the year of the rooster repeats every 12 years, and the year of the fire rooster repeats every 60 years. The fire rooster year is formed from the attributes of being the fourth heavenly stem of yin fire gotten from 10 celestial elemental qualities, and the 10th earthly branch gotten from 12 terrestrial animal personalities. The personality is what I like to call the ego matrix, and that's the Ruach in Rosicrucian Kabbalah. Now, it's important to note here that the 10 heavenly or celestial stems are derived from the 5 elements in Chinese astrology, which are fire, metal, wood, earth, and water. There's 5 in Chinese astrology. There's 4 in Western astrology. So these can be combined to understand not only the personality, but also the health of the person, their social makeup, how they're going to behave, their spiritual nature, their spiritual DNA, that kind of thing. You're going to be able to find out a lot about a person, and especially how you can help make them better and help them when it comes to their emotional health, their mental health, their physical health, and their spiritual expression, how they can best center themselves and live their life to the fullest, because quality of life is what we're going to be focusing on in the age of Aquarius, and making sure people are not only living longer but more youthful, vigorous, healthy, exciting, and productive lives. Now, these 10 qualities, there are 10 qualities that are comprised of yin and yang divisions in the celestial stems. And this is within the assigned elemental attributes, with this current year of the fire rooster being a Yin Fire Rooster year. Therefore, there are 10 aspects gotten from yin and yang characteristics of 5 Chinese elements. Sagittarius is mutable fire in the Western astrology. The yin qualities of the year of the Yin Fire Rooster will add significant flames to your Spitfire nature. Happily, Rooster bestows yin fire during this time rather than yang, which will dampen down any overheated tendencies towards becoming too pushy. You find balance during the progression, but you are going to insist that people are upfront with you, because you require accurate accounts of events at any cost, since this astronomical happening will cause you to be much sought after for leadership, strength, spokesperson opportunities, and the like, and you're going to be able to gain many chances to capture the brass ring of achievement in relationships or career, putting you into positions where you will be able to express the part of your personality that enjoys helping other people. This will be extremely satisfying for you, as well as for those whom you are able to assist towards accomplishing their goals. Very important. Sagittarius the Archer year of the Rooster lesson. Avoid becoming upset with people who seem guarded, wanting to keep their personal lives private due to the fact that many of these individuals do not possess confidence and skill levels, while those who do will become your best friends. This is going to be a year when Sagittarius the Archer will find the blessing to be that you can expect those who care for you, such as suitors or family, to become more self-assured, freeing you up to explore new horizons for career, travel, and relationships that you're going to, have to put on the shelf up until this time. And you're going to find that you have people that you sort of put on the back burner. And during the year of the Fire Rooster, you're going to be able to deal with them, finally. And this has all been because they've been dependent on you, but you're going to be able to allow them to depend on you during the Fire Rooster year, and you'll actually want them to, and you'll actually want to be someone who is able to be the authority during this time. The reason for this is that the Fire Rooster attribute of leadership is going to come into account. And shyness, being strong-willed, but very organized and also authoritative. So you're really going to find that the shy attribute is not going to negate your ability to be dominant in situations and be a manager or be a boss, not only in what people, how they say, oh, you'd be a great, manager or boss, but actually to have that badge of honor and have that title. Now, Fire Rooster advice. People love your flashy and witty personality, but don't get into the habit of shyness being something that you try to overcome by becoming extremely overly flashy or pretentious or flamboyant, because you might try to bounce from one to the other. You wax Geburic, you wax Hasidic, you wax severity and mercy, and you're like the wild swinging pendulum. What you want to do is you want to understand that the shyness is due to self-consciousness, and be more other consciousness, and that will take care of itself. The Fire Rooster year influence is going to present you and other people with being very well dressed and clean, crisp and clean and fashionable, stylish, elegant. You're going to be able, because of this, to accumulate much wealth and abundance, and that's because you're going to also be blunt and to the point. You're also going to be outspoken, and you're going to be easily embarrassed, though. So you can expect that. Again, this is because of the self-consciousness and you're going to want to be a perfectionist. And that's because it's associated with the sign of the Virgin in the Western astrology, and that brings in the perfectionism, which brings out that self-consciousness, which can tend to make people become too embarrassed. So just make everything nice and calm if you're feeling embarrassed, and walk through it, and all is well. And don't push yourself too hard to do things, to do things that are uncomfortable. If you keep your body comfortable. If you keep your body comfortable, all will be well with you. You don't have to make yourself ill or uncomfortable for yourself or any project or anybody or anything. Anybody that tells you otherwise is trying to use you. Better to be used than useless, but you really need to make yourself happy, because no one's going to care about you but yourself. No one's going to make sure you're okay but yourself. You need to, help yourself, because no one else is really going to be helping you. They're going to be helping themselves. Okay, now for the yin aspect of this yin, Fire Rooster year. We have the feminine aspect coming out. We have the night, cold, earth, moist, wintertime, inner instead of outer, restful, contracting instead of expansion. We have formation, and we have the ventral, tender underbelly instead of the dorsal part of any situation or creature. So you want to understand everybody needs to protect themselves. Everybody probably, a lot of people will be very self-protective. And people should make sure they have on whatever armor they think they need to, whether they're putting on the armor of God with memorizing various scriptures from whatever religion they're adhering to, or they might actually put on actual physical armor, whatever. But people are using technology as armor, and that's a softer form of armor that still allows us to communicate. Now, the fire aspect, that element, is going to bring the emotion of happiness. It's going to bring the climate of heat, the taste of bitterness. The internal organs will be affected. Will be the heart, the small intestines, the blood vessels, and the tongue is the organ of the head. Now, the general fixed rooster associations are the season of autumn, where yin brings winter. The fixed rooster attribute is autumn. West is the direction, and we know that the west brings in the cold, wet winds from the Archangel Gabriel in Rosicrucian Kabbalah, or Christian Kabbalah. Now, instincts are going to be very important, and metal is the element. Yin is associated again with rooster because yin is associated with self-consciousness, and the rooster is associated with the sign of Virgo, which is perfectionism, and that brings out the self-consciousness, which brings out the yin qualities. Okay, now there are 5 elements in Chinese astrology, being fire, metal, wood, earth, and water. Fire controls metal in the grand recycling attribute of Mother Nature. She has metal controlling wood. She has wood controlling earth. She has earth controlling water, and water controlling fire. And again, we come full circle, where fire controls metal. This is the circle of life where we attempt to balance the 5 elements and understand nature itself and begin to behave as nature itself, for nature has been made perfect by Creator. Now, the fire element brings us the emotion, the feeling of joy and happiness. The climate is going to be heat, and the taste is going to be a bitterness, and the organ is the tongue. The organ in the head is the tongue. For earth, we have the emotion of worry and fret and rumination. The climate is dampness. The taste is sweet, and the mouth is the organ in the head. The element of metal, we have the feeling of grief, a great sadness. This is attributed to, again, this is metal, attributed to the 3 of swords in Western tarot. So you see there's a thread of similarity through all these systems. There are many books that talk about the similarities between Noah and the family of Noah and the I Ching, for example. These books are very important to look at because it shows how we are all one and we're actually not different. Okay, now, we have our uniqueness, but we also must find a common thread lest we feel so disconnected that we no longer function well as a society. We have to function well as a society. You don't have to be the best, you don't have to be the worst, and you're not. You just have to be a functioning member of society. Okay, now, for metal and grief, the climate is dryness, and the taste is a pungent taste. The nose is the organ in the head. Okay, now water, that element. Now fear is the emotion, and that anxiety, that gripping anxiety. The environmental climate condition would be cold, the taste would be salty, and the ears would be the organ in the head. Now, if anybody's having any of these emotions, and they seem to change, that's because they have certain associations in their Chinese astrology chart and their Western chart, plus people that they're around, plus the year that they're in, plus maybe some food they ate that may have had a yin quality or yang quality or a wood quality or whatnot. And there's a lot that affects a person. So, and in their astrocartography where they live in, and we do astrocartography. And you can contact me, Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel, at www.readingsbyrosemary.com if you want to find out about our classes and the various psychic services we provide and all of that. But the point is, people, it's not that they're so, crazy or erratic or eccentric. They're just simply being affected. Now, what makes a person of a higher level, a speaking level, this level of souls rather than the level of angels, is because they have a speaking level and they can understand what's going on, and they can not react without any forethought, but they can respond correctly instead of reacting badly. And that's the difference. Now, to calculate the Chinese New Year, simply count the second new moon that comes after the winter solstice. A disclaimer is in order here. High magic can be dangerous. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Join us again next time.